Welcome back, and once again with our guest over the phone, Dr. Sherifa El Nahas, nutrition expert. Good afternoon, Dr. Sherifa.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you, Dr. Sherifa? Happy Eid to you.
Thank you. Happy Eid to you too.
Dr. Sherifa, doctors advise moderation and consumption of meat during Eid. So would you please tell us, is consumption of red meat in specific toxic even for a couple of days?
No, it's not. Actually, it's not. It's very important for our bones, for our muscles, and muscle is it's our largest organ that we don't really give a lot of care to it, and it's very important if we want to age well. We have to have big muscles or good muscles that functions well. In order to metabolize our excess fats, we have to have good muscles. So muscles is really, it depends on protein, and mainly animal protein. So meat is not that, it's not toxic at all, but we want to just take care of not eating too much, because protein has, like every 100 grams of protein has 60 grams of carbohydrates, and we usually eat both together. So this is the point that I want to raise today. It's don't mix protein with carbohydrates.
Don't
too
mix
much
proteins with carbohydrates.
Yes,
So
this is the main problem. And we usually eat fata, and it's bread, rice, and meat. So this combination is not healthy. But I know it's our tradition. We can eat from it, but not in big quantities.
Right. So some people say that we have to eat carrots and parsley with meat to facilitate the digestion process. How do you see this? What's your comment?
Yes, this is very important to eat fibers with animal protein in order to. It's very true. And I always advise my clients to eat protein and fibers. This is the right food combination. If you want to eat protein, you have to mix it with vegetables.
Right.
This is very important, and also to increase the vitamins intake. Mm-hmm. because meat is usually more of minerals, so we need a bit of more vitamins. So it's good to mix both together.
Mm-hmm. Right. Some people also eat camel meat. So how far do you think camel meat is it healthier?
Yes, of course it's healthier because it's not fed. The problem with the meat is that it's fed sweet potatoes, it's fed corn, and sometimes corn is mixed with molasses, and so there's too much like sugar in the meat itself. It's not that much. This is the main problem. What we feed our cattle. If it's free range and it eats from the grass, it eats the earth that it's supposed to eat. This is the healthiest meat, and it has lean. The meat is very lean, and the cut is completely different. That the ones that we find in the supermarkets, that it's filled with fats. So camels are not fed this type of food because it's not important for the producers to weigh the camel, and it's not usually it's not in the market. It's not. I mean it's not. It hasn't been in the market for a long time. Not all the people know it, so it's not. It has no marketplace. But the red meat, it's way the producers wanted to weigh more, so they feed them sweet potatoes, and as I told you, corn mixed with molasses, and that's what makes it bad.
Mm-hmm. Right. Dr. Sherifa, how do you read the old saying that says breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dine like a pauper?
It's very good. I cannot criticize it, but what I want to add to this is that the concept of bio-individuality. Every one of us is different. Every one of us has his own type of genes, has his own fat and hormonal balances. So we are all different. So we can't just take this and apply it for everyone. Everyone is different. Some people do very good on this, and some other people do better on the intermittent fasting. That you skip breakfast and you start your day with eating late as lunch at 12 noon or maybe at 1 p.m. and then you end your day, your feeding day at 6 or 7 p.m. So every one of us is different. We cannot generalize one concept on everybody.
Right. Is it right that a way that the food item is cooked can seriously add or reduce the calorie intake in this item?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Is it right that the way a food item is cooked can add or reduce to the calorie intake or the calorie that is added during the cooking process
Yes, that's absolutely true. So let me take the chance to talk about a very important thing, which is fat. Everybody now is trying to avoid fat because they're trying to lose weight and look better and be fit. The problem is reducing the fat intake makes us eat more, and it's not helping us to lose weight. So fats are very important. It's not about just reducing your fat intake. It's about choosing the right fats to cook with and to eat. So as you know, the ketogenic diet, it's 70% of it is about fat, but the main issue is eating the right kind of fat. So we want to ignore or to try not to use the vegetable oils, the corn oil and the sunflower oil. Those oils are not healthy, and they may increase our fat, or they may not help us to lose weight. It's very important to use the flax oil or the coconut oil or the avocado oil, but we don't have the avocado oil in Egypt, but we have the coconut oil. It's very important to cook with. The olive oil is very important. It's loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, and that's what we really need to lose our fat. So introducing fat in our diet is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Fats keeps us at our society level very high. We don't eat a lot, and this aids us to reach our target, which is losing weight.
Right. Well, Dr. Sherifa, what are the most harmful food items for the heart?
Okay, eating the very poor quality vegetable oils can harm our heart. Eating too much sugary or sweets affects our heart by too much insulin is excreted from our pancreas, and eventually this affects our heart. So it's not only about the cholesterol that we always put our focus on. It's also sugar. Sugar is our enemy. This what really destroys our health, and it affects our heart through too much insulin is secreted from the pancreas, and too much insulin or anything that is too much in our body is switched to fats, and fats affects our heart. So sugar is transformed to fat, and this affects our heart, and it builds up the plaque in our arteries, and this affects our heart. So I recommend everyone to slow down on sugar. and to
Right.
eat healthy fats.
Right, Dr. Sherifa El Nahas, the nutrition expert, many thanks for joining us and many thanks for your valuable insight. And now we go to this report. If you thought the only popular markets in Cairo were Khan El Khalili, Wakalat El Balah, and El Tawfiqiyya, think again. The Berkash Camel Market is one of Egypt's most sensory experiences, one of the biggest markets for camel meat in Africa, located in the desert plain 20 kilometers northwest from Cairo. This zoo is active and vibrant every day of the week. We have more details in the following report.
Muslims often slaughter sheep at the annual Eid al-Adha feast of the sacrifice, but some Egyptians are thinking bigger. Wealthier customers are flocking to the Birqash market, northwest of Cairo, where traders from across East Africa bring animals for auction, not sheep, but camels. Camel trader Faraj al-Gammel said that this camel market is the biggest in the world. It is only one that still operates by word of honor without paper. He added that any businessman who comes from abroad bringing in camels knows he is safe and secure. Buyers inspect camels that limp around on 3 hoofs, the fourth tied at the knee to restrict their movement. Many are sold at prices ranging from 15,000 Egyptian pounds to 40,000 Egyptian pounds, while some fetch as much as 65,000. Sheep sell for as little as 3,000 pounds. One trader pointed out that camels were reared more naturally than cattle or sheep. Cattle get hormone injections to increase their weight, but camels don't. Used mostly for desert transport, camels also provide Bedouin with milk, meat, and hair to weave into clothing. Eid al-Adha commemorates Islam's version of the biblical story of God's testing of Abraham's faith by commanding him to sacrifice his son. Meat from the animals slaughtered for Eid is traditionally shared with the poor.